Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really incredible story. It's an adventure about a hero that, get this, starts the very second he was born. We're talking magic, mystery, and a top-secret mission.
I mean, think about it. Sounds pretty crazy, right? A dark, scary prison is probably the last place on Earth you'd expect to find a world-saving hero. But that is exactly where our story kicks off, on a night that was just full of wonders and huge surprises. So here's the thing. Before our hero even showed up, the world, it just knew something amazing was about to happen. It was almost like nature itself was throwing this giant secret party.
Just try to imagine it. A night so perfect, so peaceful, it felt like the entire planet was holding its breath, just waiting in excitement. Everything was calm, beautiful, and happy, all because it was waiting for someone seriously important to arrive. And you could see the signs everywhere. The stars weren't just twinkling, they were shining with this special, peaceful light. The rivers started running with crystal clear water. Lakes all over the place suddenly bloomed with beautiful lotus flowers. And the birds and bees, they were singing their absolute sweetest songs. There was even this gentle breeze that smelled amazing. All the way up in the heavens, beings were singing and dancing. The whole world was celebrating. The original story actually has these special words to describe this exact moment. Paramashobhana Shakala. How cool is that? Let's make that our first story word. It basically means it wasn't just a good time or a great time, it was the most supremely awesome, wonderful, and absolutely perfect moment you could possibly imagine. A truly special time. Okay, but here comes the big twist. While the rest of the world is having this huge celebration, our hero, well, he wasn't born in some fancy palace. The real magic, the main event, was happening in the one place nobody would ever think to look. That's right. In the middle of the night, inside a dark, gloomy prison cell, the most wonderful child you can imagine suddenly appeared. Can you just picture the shock and surprise of his parents? They're locked away in jail, and then they see him. And listen, this was no ordinary baby. Not at all. He looked like a superhero from the very first second. He had these beautiful eyes, just like lotus flowers, and, you're not going to believe this, he had 4 arms. And he was already holding stuff, a conch shell, a big club, a disc, and a lotus flower. On top of that, he was wearing a glowing gem, clothes that were literally shining, and even a helmet and earrings. Wow, what a baby! So what about his dad, Vasudeva? Well, he was just struck with wonder. He was totally amazed. He just stared at his new son, completely in awe, realizing this was the person the whole world had been waiting for. In fact, he was so filled with joy and gratitude, he felt like he could give away 10,000 cows right then and there to celebrate. But wait, the surprises were not over yet. Not by a long shot. This amazing baby was about to reveal a gigantic secret to his parents, a secret that went back thousands and thousands of years. And then, the baby spoke. He looked at his parents and told them that this was actually the 3rd time he had been born as their son. He was there to keep a very, very old and very important promise.
He explained the whole thing. He said, a long time ago, you were Prishni and Sutapa, and I was born as your son, Prishnigarbha. Then, he said, in another life, you were Aditi and Kashyapa, and I came as your son, Vamana. And now, for the 3rd time, you were Devaki and Vasudeva, and I have come again as Krishna. He kept his promise to them, not just once or twice, but 3 times across all those lifetimes.
Now, his mother, Devaki, was just amazed, but then, all of a sudden, she got really scared. She remembered that her evil brother, King Kamsa, was the one who put them in jail, and she knew he wanted to harm her baby. So she pleaded with her son, "Please, you have to hide your amazing 4-armed form. Please look like a normal baby so Kamsa doesn't find out who you really are." And that right there is what kicks off the most exciting part of the entire story. You've got a dangerous king looking for him, so this baby and his father had to pull off a secret, totally magical escape right in the middle of a dark and stormy night.
So the secret mission began. First, just like his mother asked, the amazing baby instantly turned into a normal little infant. The moment his father, Vasudeva, picked him up, the huge, heavy, locked iron doors of the prison, they just swung open all by themselves. Outside, it was pouring rain, but a giant friendly snake magically appeared and used its hoods like a giant umbrella to keep them both dry. Then, when they got to the raging Yamuna River, the water itself parted, making a safe path for them to walk across. Vasudeva carried him to a nearby village, secretly swapped him with a baby girl who had just been born, and then snuck all the way back to the prison, and no one ever knew. It was the perfect, magical escape.
So, our baby hero was safe, all tucked away from the evil king. But, with a beginning that magical, his adventures were only just getting started. So, what do you think happened next? I guess we'll have to save that story for another time.